Okay. Okay. So welcome everyone to the restart of the Rubin Science Assemblies, the weekly Rubin Science Assemblies after a couple of month hiatus. We're glad that all you can attend. I'm glad to see some new people as well as some old hands here. There's also several people from the community science team, which is so welcome everyone. So I'm Douglas Tucker. I'm a member of the community science team, and I'll be giving today's presentation, which is Reintroduction to Data Preview 0. Before that, let's look at the agenda. So basically, it's today we'll just have a few announcements, and we'll go directly into the presentation. So this week we will not have any breakout sessions. It's just a presentation with some tutorial aspects in it. Some announcements. So I've announced kind of one for beginners and one for basically everyone. So for beginners, if you've recently started the process of getting a Rubin Science Platform or RSP account, but can't log in yet, let us know in the chat. And we have several CST members who can help with that. And actually, that while I'm here, I should open up my chat window. It's always, there we go. So I can keep an eye on it too. And then the second thing is for those of you who have been using the Rubin Science Platform and in particular the Jupyter Notebook service, the new recommended build of the science pipelines has been upgraded now to 2024 weekly 37. So if you actually have a RSP session in progress, we do recommend that you exit your notebook session and start a new one to take advantage of the latest release. And we won't go into any details here, but there's a link here describing the new aspects of this new release. Particularly, there's this new Butler query system, which most cases it looks pretty much similar to the previous Butler system, but there are a couple nice add-ons since to the new system. Okay, another announcement. We would like to remind people, another announcement before we go on to the actual meat of the meeting. We would like to remind people you are Rubin users, and there is a committee that advocates for you. This is the Rubin Users Committee, and is charged with soliciting feedback from the community about Rubin data products and the science platform, and also recommending improvements in their twice yearly reports to the Rubin Operations Director. I won't go into gross detail here, but there are links. Oh, actually, I should. Oh, sorry. I should. One second. Let me stick this in the.
I just did.
Oh, you did. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Let me go back here. Slideshow. So Tina has added the link to the slides. This is a useful. There'll be a lot of useful links here for you to access, not only for this first slide but elsewhere. But you can read the charge for the users committee. Go to their website, look at the reports. There's a contact email, and there's also a Google feedback form. There's 12 members on this committee. Here are photos. Let's see. Some are often on these meetings. So you'll see them in these weekly Rubin Science Academy, and some less. Timing is an issue, of course. But you'll see some of these members on these weekly Thursday meetings too. Okay. So let's jump into this into the um, main program here for today. Um, so um, uh, I like to okay, I'll admit first that this is these slides are a group effort. I would definitely like to mention give credit to Melissa and Jeff. Melissa's the lead of the CST. Jeff is the deputy lead, and the rest of the team here. I've stolen a lot from of their slides for this presentation, and so this is basically a team effort. So I did want to mention the credits there. Uh, who who is on the community science team? So I mentioned there's Melissa, the lead, Jeff, the deputy lead, and then there's Tina, myself, Yumi, Andres, Sarah, Ryan, Greg, Aaron, Christina, and Gloria. And this and several of the team members are on this call too. Uh, we include specialists in documentation, citizen science, research inclusion, solar system, time domain, Milky Way science, cosmology, and much more. And we are here to help. So please feel free to ask us questions. Um, um, Resources for community science. So the main topic of this presentation is the DP0, which contains simulated LSST-like data products. There's the Rubin Science Platform, which includes web-based Jupyter Notebook portal API, and actually also we always and command line aspects. There's documentation, tutorials that you can go through, user support, and live events like this, like today, and other drop-in office hours. I also want to add this useful link. I stole this from Jeff's previous version of this talk from March when we had another hiatus. So there's a YouTube videos for kickoff for new users of DP0.2 and DP0.3, data preview 0.2 and 0.3. I also include a link to Jeff's March 22 reintroduction to DP0 talk, which is very complementary to what is in this talk. And there's also DP0.lsst.io is a very important, very useful resource web page. There's a community forum. There's a science platform link. We have our tutorial, a lot of our tutorials in GitHub. There's a GitHub link. There's a web page for scientists. For users of the DP0.2, there's the link to the simulations, the paper that describes the simulated sky survey that we use for DP0.2, and also the research note. So these are all very useful things. So useful to click on later on. Now let's talk about data preview 0 itself. So it consists of simulated LSST-like data sets to enable preparations for the first releases of real on-sky data. Once again, we'll see this link many times, dp0.lsst.io. We'll revisit that over and over again. So DP0.2 is composed of two parts, DP0.2 and DP0.3. These are separate data sets. DP0.2 is more galactic and extragalactic. DP0.2 is solar system catalogs. So DP0.2 is composed of reprocessed images from the Dark Energy Science Collaboration Daily Challenge 2. It's composed of 300 square degrees of 300 square degrees of their wide field simulations. It's basically to 5-year depths of Rubin. It uses an older baseline strategy for observing strategy, but it's still not but uh, but it's still very useful. It's because there's not huge differences between the strategies for so it's still very useful. It includes stars, galaxies, clusters, star scale structure. It also has variable stars, Type 1a supernovae. Unfortunately, for people who are AGN aficionados, it does not have AGN, but there are efforts by the AGN working group to do insertions of AGN into the simulations, and there's other similar things. It is composed of direct images, difference images, and co-added images, and their associated catalogs and survey property maps. On the side here, we see the overall area of sky. It's around an RA of 67 and a deck of minus degrees and a deck of minus 32 degrees. So here we see what are called the tracks. Those are the co-added tracks on the sky of the DP0.2 area. And we can zoom in. There's a little bar here, like a 1 arc-a-minute field of view, and you can see the area of the sky that's simulated there. And you can zoom in on that, and you see a nice galaxy group here. There's 5 arc-second length here. We have the DP0.3 solar system catalogs. So these are simulated separately from DP0.2. So you should basically more or less view them as a separate data set. These are solar system focused. They're all sky. They include 1 year and 10-year catalogs, simulated catalogs for LSST. Contains all the standard solar system populations. It also includes 4 interstellar objects for you to hunt down and search for. You're looking for an interstellar spacecraft that's heading into to our solar system or a interstellar asteroid. As it contains photometry and astrometry for detections. It also has phase curves and orbital parameters. It does not, however, have rotation curves or outburst events. On this side, we see a nice plot of the sample of eccentricity versus semi-major axis. You see you got the long period comets, you have various asteroids and so on. So it's a very nice data set. Let's see. In addition to Data Preview 0, just to keep your interest peaked for the future, Data Preview 1 is expected, it's currently expected in mid-2025, and it will be based on a few nights of commissioning camera data or the main camera, the LSST camera of on-sky data. So real data. Data Preview 2 is expected in mid-2026, and it's planned to contain all science-grade science validation and commissioning data from the main LSST camera. And Data Release 1 is expected by around January 2027, and it'll contain the first half year of survey operations. Now, these dates are, of course, subject to change. And you can stay up to date by going to this website here. Now, LSST is going to be a huge data set, and it's really not convenient just to try to download the whole data set to your laptop and analyze it. So the idea here, the Rubin project went a different route. So the idea is that you don't take the data to the analysis, we take your analysis to the data. So this is what we call the next to the data analysis. So to make this possible, the Rubin science team, this Rubin project has created the Rubin Science Platform, which is a set of integrated web-based applications and services that run on that will run on the various Rubin Observatory Data Access Centers, or DACs. Currently, there's one that's accessible to the general Rubin user community. And that is data.lcc.cloud. We'll see that more later. But it's composed of a portal aspect where you can do exploratory analysis and visualization of the Rubin archive. The notebook aspect, these are Jupyter notebooks, where we can do in-depth next to the data analysis and creation of added value data products. And there's the API aspect, which kind of a little bit against the grain of the main idea of taking the data, taking the analysis to the data. Here you can use the remote access to the archive and grab data on your laptop or other compliant systems to access data that way through via industry standard APIs. For instance, through the TopCap through TopCap for those who use TopCap. The RSP will include tools to query, visualize, subset, and analyze the full LSD data archives in a stable software environment located next to the data. And there's also storage space, compute resources, and remote access options available. And to go with this is a lot of excellent documentation, and we're always working on the documentation. So these include the website for scientists, where you can get news and events and general information. There's technical documentation at lsat.io. It includes data release documentation, technical reports, and user guides. And there's plenty of tutorials, and there's always more tutorials being created. Those which for the Rubin Science Platform, the RSP, include using command line tools, API tools, Jupyter notebooks, and the portal. And eventually we're going to move, or eventually we'll also have access to links to journal articles on the pipelines, algorithms, and processing. To go in a little more detail, the Forest Scientist website, you can click on here, you can go you'll see this landing page. From this landing page, most of the current resources for scientists are discoverable within just a few clicks. Now, some of the content has become deprecated. It is a little bit, a new site is being created, a new Forest Scientist website is being created. You can click on it here. At the moment, it is actually, there is a link that's a live link, but currently it still shows a lot of the old stuff. It's still being finished up, and we expect it should be fully ready by the end of the year. There's also the lsst.io. There's various technical and user guides. If you click on that link, you'll come to this landing page. There's a scroll bar. There's a search engine. There's a search bar where you can search for things. There's also, you can scroll down and find useful links and guides on that page. Some of the more popular user guides are the LCD pipelines, our links to the LCD pipelines documentation, the Rubin Science Platform documentation, and the Data Preview 0 documentation. And when Data Preview 1 is released, there'll be a dp1.lct.io link to go with it. And also with future releases, there'll be pages for those too. Tutorials are very good. We've had a lot of success with these over the last couple of years. So these are step-by-step user executable demonstrations of scientific analyses with the data products, the services and tools, and the LSC pipelines. We do adhere to certain standards which are delineated in this guideline for user tutorials. The tutorials are available in the data release documentation, say DP0 .2 lcd.io and dp0-3.lcd.io. There's time for portal tutorials. There's notebook tutorials, API tutorials, and sorry, we always forget to put this down. There's also some very nice command line tutorials too. And they're at various levels, at beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels. And we recently started creating including some of these translating some of these tutorials into Spanish. So far, just a few of them just been translated so far, but they'll also Spanish language versions of these. And these are going to evolve. We expect significant reorganization and development for DP1, which is coming in a lot too distant. I mean, it's in a year, less than a year. Uh, uh, we cover a wide variety of topics, and there's more topics always being added. And I hope to have time to do a little bit, show just a very brief summary, show a couple of these tutorials very briefly a little bit later on. User support, this is very important. The place to go for user support is community.lcd.org. There's a web page where you can ask questions, find information from other folks. It's a very useful place. And we'll also I'll have a little demo of this a little bit later on too. What happens? So let's say you post a question, post a new topic. This in the community forum. What should you expect when a new question is posted as a topic in the user support in the support category? Well, we have every week we have a weekly forum watcher from the community science team, and they will see the post within 24 hours, and the plan is to respond, at least have some response within 24 hours of receiving having a post shown, having a post appear, a question appear. Anyone in the topic thread with solutions can repost. It doesn't necessarily need to be someone from the CST. It could be another another person from the community. This is the idea. The idea is to have this as a way to do crowdsource solutions. Now, if a question is not an immediate solution and work needs to be done by the Rubin staff, an internal work ticket will be created by the Rubin staff, and CST members will liaise with the other Rubin departments to work towards a solution. And then when the original question of the topic is answered, that the reply that answers the question will be marked as a solution. And as you see over here, the solution by Andres to some question, and it's been marked. Oops, sorry. Marked with a green check mark as the solution. It'll pop towards the top of the list of replies. There's also live events. You're attending one of those live events now. These are the Rubin Science Assemblies. These are virtual assemblies. They're weekly, Thursdays, Thursday at 9 p.m. and last an hour, 9 a.m. Pacific time, U.S. Pacific time. The content alternates each week between 1 week will be like presentations and hands-on tutorials. The next week will typically be drop-in office hours where you have time for Q&A or co-working with a member of the CST. And you can find the schedule and recordings of previous ones, at least the previous presentations. We don't usually record the drop-in office hours at dp0.lcd.io. And here's the current version. So we have today we have today's tutorial. Next week there'll be a drop-in office hour, and then there'll be a presentation on pursuing Rubin first look real data, and so on, and for the rest of the year. And then there's more listed. I just showed here those things for the rest of this calendar year. We also have intense 1 week virtual academies, Rubin data academies. We've typically been having them annually for 1 week in mid-June. We have been talking about maybe doing this twice a year, maybe one in June and one in end of the year. But currently it's still just a 1 week mid-June thing. These involve interactive tutorials and hack sessions. And there's also a Rubin Community Workshop, which is hybrid, in person and virtual. It's a 1 week workshop with uh, presentations, hack sessions, and everything. Those are usually every they're usually 1 week annually. Usually they've been in July or August. And I think we're still continuing to plan on that. So those, let's keep an eye out for those. Um, okay, we'll see this in the community forum. When you go to the community forum, if you want to be notified of live events, you should go to the community forum and choose to watch in the science announcements category. I'll try to show this a little bit later on in a demo of the community forum. You'll go to the science announcements and you'll click on the little bell to change your notifications. Usually it's on normal. You'll be notified if someone mentions your name or replies to you, but you may want to switch that to watching. Or you can always go to find a list of upcoming events at this web page. Okay, let's see. I'm now going to go to a couple of demos, but are there any questions or comments at this point? All right. Well, let me show a demo of the community forum, and I'll see if I can remember to do all these things. Asking a question, flagging a post, sending a private message, searching, joining a group, etc. If you want to go to on your web browser, go to community.lssd.org, and okay, oops. Let me escape from here, and I will go to communitylsc.org. All right, so this is the landing page. Often this part will be collapsed, but you can expand it. And this is a very nice section because it gives you some tutorials on how to ask a question, how to mark a solution, how to get confidential support. Say if you're doing, when we have real data and you're doing some research and you don't want to blab it out to the whole world, there's a way to send confidential information to to CST members to get help without this is a general posting is this available to everyone, but you may want to do confidential support too. There's on how to join a discussion and how to stay informed by changing the notifications on what you're following. So if you look here, the main page, you have two columns. You have a category column and basically the latest post column. So the categories includes news, support, and in particular DP0 support, science, including announcements. There's also a link to this year's community workshop, which was held in July. Links to science collaborations, equity and justice initiatives, discussions on commissioning, data management, education and public outreach, a meta thing, which is basically discussions about the community forum, its organization and how it works. The project, there's also something that's basically for staff, and an archive. Actually, I'm not sure if you guys can see all of these. These might be just some of these might be just viewable to moderators like myself. Uh, okay, so one of the useful, probably useful things to do is go to your profile, and you can click on here, and you might want to adjust your profiles, your profile preferences. So you would go to the little silhouette of a person here, and you can first of all look at the summary, and this kind of shows you kind of things that just kind of summarize things of what you're looking at or what you've been looking at. Uh, you may also wish to go to preferences. This is very useful. So you can have your username. You can upload your profile picture. You can include associate accounts. I have my GitHub account linked here. My full name, that's an optional thing. You can include a title. I have LSST listed here. You can also add in additional things like I have community science team listed here. You can also have like, you also have you don't have to put that there. It's optional, but you can also put like, I'm also in the dark entity science collaboration. I can save changes and so on. Another thing is you might want to change your notifications. So I don't like to get pop-ups from the community forum. I like to have this emails. So I've set it up so I get a notify, I get a of I get things um that are so I disable my notifications so I can just get I just get the emails. So I consider topics new, which were created in the last 2 days. I automatically track topics I enter after 4 minutes. When I post a topic, I set that topic to watching that. That means I get notifications if anyone else if something changes, is that topic I get a reply or whatever. And I get notified when liked, first time a post is liked. And I also get notifications daily. And I allow other users to send me personal messages. Let's see. Oh, what if you want to ask a question? Let's go back to the main page. You can click on the up here to go back to the main page. And let's say you want to ask a question. So to do that, you click on new topic plus new topic. You can say ask why I don't know, why are red star magnitudes quantized in uh, um, in the DP 0.2 processing. And it'll usually pop up if you have similar topics, and you can look at those if you want. But we also kind of recommend that if you have, it doesn't hurt to always have a new topic. We encourage asking questions. Category, you'll probably want to have it in support. I think support, and you probably want to add DP0. You add that. Oops. Okay, let's click on that. You can also add optional tags. These are not really necessary and they aren't really tracked. And then you can hi, my question is so and so. You can also, if you had if you had a problem in coding in the notebooks or whatever, you can cut and paste code here. I just typing it out here. So you see it shows up here. And then Then you can create topic. I'm not gonna create the topic because I don't want to put it in, but you create topic. I will here I'll just cancel and I'll discard. Uh, and then you'll see, let's look at some topic that has been created. Let's see, one of the older ones, maybe. Force photometry. Let's do force photometry. So here we see, oh, there's a lot of stuff going on here. So Tobias uh, sent this question and included code snippets and so on. And so where he had an error, there were several responses. Melissa replied saying we wasn't able to answer it immediately, but just to say a quick note, thanks for the post, and we're following up internally. So it took a little while it was a little bit harder question, so it took a little while and took some back and forth. And then eventually, this actually resulted in a new tutorial notebook. And this was clicked as a solution. And not only is it listed down here, but oh yeah, the solution is listed here. So and that was basically closed off. Let's see. Let's see. I don't want to go too much because I want to keep to the hour, and there's 20 minutes left. I could just do a couple more things. Let's see. I'm going to go back to the main. I'm going to click on the header up here to go back to the main page. Let's see. Let's go to click back on data previews, zero risk support. Okay, you go here. You see the little bell here. Actually, I've already set up for notifications myself, but if you click on here, you might be listed as having normal on here. Maybe you want to watch, maybe you want to change your notifications. And so the normal doesn't notify if someone mentions your name or reply to your question, your post.
Douglas,
Yes.
I want to make you aware of the time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So yeah, I'll just so you can change that to watching, or if you have some particular thing you want to watch, you can click on there. There's also just want to yeah, I want to okay, I don't want to spend too much further time on here. I just want to mention, say if you want to send a private post, a confidential post, or to a certain group, you don't want to spread to everyone. It's for your question, send your question to everyone. You can go to the little mail thing here, and you can double click on the mail here. And this allows you to send private messages. And you can send it to your other DP0 delegates. You can send it to the CST. Let's see. You can send it to me. You can say new mail. Oh, it's because I just sent it to myself. I will send it also to Jeff. Okay. And new mail message, you can add optional tags. You can say new mail, and it'll show you what it'll look like over here. That's basically like doing a post. And then you can hit message and it will send it to the person. I'm going to cancel this. Discard. All right. I there's a couple other things, but I'm gonna skip those for now because you can just see that you can learn about those here. And I do want to do a quick show of the portal and maybe even the notebook aspect. Um, so let's see. Let me go first back to here. Okay, so we've finished demo one, or at least we're declaring it done and moving on. And but first, any questions about demo one? All right. If you have questions, just add them to the chat, and if I can't answer them, one of the other CST members will be able to answer you. Or write a post. Okay, let's move on to demo two. I'm going to try to do a quick query and retrieve data from the science platform using the portal aspect, and if you have time, also the Jupyter Notebook. If you have an RSP account, feel free to log in and follow along at data.elasticity.cloud. I will be going fast, so we're not expecting to kind of you follow, but if you wish to try to follow, but I will be going kind of fast, just to give you a flavor of the portal aspect and the Jupyter Notebook. Okay, let's see, where are we? Okay. All right, so if you go to data.lcd.cloud, this is the landing page. Log in here. You'll log into your organization. Your organization could be Orchid or GitHub. I'm at Fermi National Laboratory, so I use that. So now it shows my username. I'm logged in. I'll go to the portal, and we'll do a very quick demo of doing showing solar magnitude diagram. So there's many things you can do. You can look at image. You can query images, catalogs from the DP0.2 or DP0.3. You can do uploads. We're going to look at DP0.2 catalogs here. So when you first, so for this particular demo, I want to make sure that the image search obstat query is off here. I want to make sure that I'm looking at the table collection of DP0, DC2 catalogs. There are 11 tables in those. We're going to look at the object catalog, which is basically the catalog of objects from the deep coat images from these simulations. And you're presented with a list of all the columns, and there's a lot of them from this particular table. There's over 900. So let's click on a couple things. We'll look at the RA and deck. Okay, instead of kind of well, we can use this this window up here to find things, and we're going to look for Caleb flux things that. So we'll do the G, R, and I Caleb flux, and these are in nanojanskis, and there's a little description here. We'll pull this out here. See the description of that column. And with a G Caleb flux, the I Caleb flux, and the R Caleb flux. And these are in units of nanojanskis. Okay, what else do we want? We want those. We also want, okay, during the processing, there's an amount of deep blending. You might have merged objects, and there's a lot of deep blending. What we want is just a sample of the final stuff, not the, but everything is kept. What we want basically what are called primary objects. Those are the final unique set of objects after deblending. So we will do is primary, and here it is. We want that, and we want to add a constraint, and as the description says, true if there's no children, and zero otherwise. We want it to be let's set the constraint to 1. It's a Boolean operator, so we'll set it as uh, a constraint of 1. And then we also want to adjust the extent. We want to use the extendedness parameter, the ref extendedness parameter. So we want stars. So we want 1 for extended sources like galaxies, 0 for point sources. So we will set this to 0 because stars will be point sources. Then we can click off that. We can do that now. And if we want to just see the ones that we just did, we can click on this little filter. And we start getting the RA deck. Oh, okay. Oh, yes. We also want to have bright objects. So we don't have a bunch of junk in our plot. So we'll say we will just set the Caleb flux to be more than 360 nanojanskis in G, R, and I. And okay. We have different. These are the things that we're querying for. These we'll get back. We have different constraints we can apply. We will just use the spatial, temporal, and object ID search. We'll just here use the object, the spatial constraint. We'll just use the default, one of these defaults. We'll aim at the center of the near the center of the simulation, or about RA of 62 degrees and dec of minus 37 degrees. And we'll change the radius here. We'll change this to degrees and the radius to 1, let's say 1 degree. And then we can come down here. The row limit, you can change that, but that's all right. We'll just leave it as is, and we will do a search. And we get return a image with all the things, everything marked in that image that are all the objects marked in that image. We also get a plot. The first two columns that we requested return, in this case it's RA and dex. And you also get the table of things that are returned. And these are all connected. If you click on here, on the you clicked on is now orange, it will show, well, okay, you can zoom in and out with your scroll bar. Oh yeah, it's hard to see, but it also appears here. You get one symbol which is a little bit different color here. That's the same object as here. And it's also highlighted in the table here. Or likewise, you can click somewhere on the table and it will show up in these other two windows. Now we want to do a color magnitude diagram. So we want to change this plot. So we go over to this thing that looks like a gear and click on that. And this will let us change things. This will change, we can, so the x-axis will do the color, and we want it in magnitudes. So we want, okay, we'll do the G minus R color, G minus R Caleb flux. But remember, these are in fluxes, and we're astronomers. We like magnitudes. So we convert these by taking the log base 10 and multiplying by that by minus 2.5. And we subtract, so it turns into a plus 2.5 log 10 of the other. There is a 0 point of 31.4, but these cancel out because we're subtracting two things. And then here we will do, say, the I magnitude, I flux, and we'll convert that into a magnitude, minus 2.5 times log 10 of that. And we will add 31.4, and okay, we'll leave that. We can change the chart options. We can say uh, G minus R and I, and we can flip the Y mag to the Y axis because we're astronomers. And we can hit apply. Oops, I did something wrong. It highlights red when that's wrong. What did I do wrong? Oh, log 10. Oh, maybe it's just log. No, log. Drop. Okay, let me try that again. It likes that. G. Oh, I saw the deck in there for some reason, maybe. 2.5 log and R. What?
I'm going to butt in here while you're doing that. It's a good idea to have those things someplace else and cut and paste it in. And
Yep.
we've asked for that that window to be extended, and that hasn't happened yet. So we have asked that that this window is bigger so that our ability to see our equations is easier. So, all right, sorry,
Yes.
you got it. You finally
Yes.
got it.
Thanks, Tina. Yes. And so here we have a plot. Here we have a plot. We have only 5 minutes to go. I'll just do a quick change in the plot boundary. So let's go from -1 to 2. Just kind of expand. And let's say do it from 0. -0.5, 0.5 to 1.5, 0.5. Apply. Okay, and so you have a color magnitude diagram, and you get a little bit of banding here due to quantized banding here due for red stars due to something in the how the simulations were created. Okay, I have 4 minutes to go. I'll just show how to get onto the uh uh um uh, onto the notebooks. I won't go in any, I won't actually, I don't have time to show it, but I'll just, you can click on here, you usually go to the recommended image for the container, and medium is generally good, medium size, start. And this will take a second or two. And we'll have plenty of tutorials on the presentation on the tutorials later on at future meetings. Okay, it's opening up. You'll be presented a launcher and a directory structure. Mine is very messy because, well, just because you will probably have in yours notebooks and tutorial notebooks. These are updated. I was going to go through DP0_02B, which shows you how to do some catalog, basically similar catalog queries. You have code cells. These are in gray. You can run them manually by doing shift return, or you can run them all at once using this fast forward button, and it'll restart things. These are very useful to go through, and you'll see that then they run, they finish, they complete. There'll be a number of when they finished. You get results out. You get nifty plots. more nifty plots. You can also get images. It's not shown anything in this notebook. You can grab images. Okay. Okay. Oh, these are still running. Still running. And we get and here it looks similar to what we had in the other thing. Before we have a color code diagram, a color magnitude diagram, and an RA diagram, and you can click on things and so on. So I encourage people to go through those things. Let me go back here. We have 2 minutes. And so I leave it to a Q&A. Are there any questions or comments? All
Maybe
right.
just a reminder that we're going to have a drop-in session next week with personal attention to anyone who needs help. And then another presentation in 2 weeks.
Yes, exactly what Tina said. Yes. So you're all welcome. And thank you for attending. And thank you. Yeah, thank you for, yeah. Well, thank you. All right. I'll stay on for another minute. Actually, I have another meeting I have to go to in about a minute, but I'll stay on for a minute if you have any other questions. And but otherwise, that's it. And until next week.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks.